When most people think about hummus, they probably think about scooping it up with some delicious veggies. But what about a hummus that you can scoop up with crackers, maybe even cookies? I like that idea. That's what we're doing today as we head back to the kitchen with a great recipe with Ashley Sorensen. Ashley, welcome back to the show.
Hey Lisa, thanks for having me.
I love this. Anytime we're talking about making desserts or something a little sweet, you have my attention. So what are you whipping up for us?
So yeah, today we're gonna do dessert hummus. So like you had said, like most people think of hummus as a savory thing with vegetables. And we can still use vegetables in our dessert hummus, but we're going to be making cookie dough that is, actually like I would just eat it with the spoon instead. And so it's healthy, edible cookie dough using chickpeas. So that is what you find in hummus. Garbanzo beans, chickpeas, they're great for protein, fiber. It's a plant-based protein. That's what I always like to use. And yeah, it's super easy. Things you probably have in your pantry that you can make. And it is delicious and good for you. So it's a win-win in my book. So all we're gonna do is take the chickpeas, rinse them, drain them. I did save a little bit of the liquid, and the liquid in chickpeas is called aquafaba. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's almost like an egg white consistency, or it can be used as like meringue. So there's neat things that are within that can alone, but I already pre-blended them up in my food processor. Actually, I used my Vitamix. I always like to use that. So you can just see how it looks there. And then the other things we're gonna add are peanut butter, which, if you have peanut butter, sun butter, almond butter, anything like that. So we're just gonna put that in here. And I know we're gonna share the recipe later with you guys, I believe. Oh, there you go. And then it is simply just a little bit of sweetener. So no refined sugar. We're just using natural honey and then some vanilla extract. And I put both of those in here. So, also some of the store-bought dessert hummus, if you look, you'll see ingredients like sugar, butter, different things like that. So, now you at least even know what's going in your dessert hummus. I don't know if you've seen it at the store, like Costco had one, and just the other grocery stores had like brownie ones even too. And that is also another good one. So all we're gonna do is just stir this up. You could put this back in your food processor, but really just stir it, and it's getting to that. This is a little bit more liquid because I added a little bit more liquid from after I drained or rinsed the garbanzo beans. And then we're just gonna put some chocolate chips in. So these are dairy-free chocolate chips. That's what I like to use. So I'm just gonna sprinkle those in, and make sure you've let your chickpeas cool before you put that in, else they will melt. Sometimes your food processor gets a little warm. And then I'm just gonna pour it into this bowl right here. Lisa, I wish you could taste this.
It looks delicious. I didn't know that there was such a thing as hummus, dessert hummus, when you said it's out in the stores. I
Really?
could have looked.
Oh, good.
I didn't. So
Okay,
this
I'm
is
glad
interesting.
It's news. So you can kind of see, and then you can just put some in a container, take it with you, have a little dessert. You could serve it with like some apples too if you wanted. So, and I mean, why not try it with some vegetables? So that is our cookie dough hummus. Good just to eat as is, something you can leave in your fridge and then not feel guilty about eating that. The next one is, pumpkin pie hummus, dessert hummus. So pumpkin pie, everything is kind of like, I love pumpkin spice. So I'm not sure if you're a pumpkin spice fan.
I love pumpkin spice and pumpkin spice everything. Now we're doing pumpkin spice, or at least pumpkin pie hummus. I love that.
Right. So this one we're going to just add some pumpkin spice. So simple ingredients again. I started with the garbanzo beans, the chickpeas, same thing. It says the same thing on the can. And then we're going to do, again, peanut butter. So this one, all we're really doing differently is instead of adding the honey, we're going to use maple syrup. So it gives that a little bit more of a, fall flavor, I guess, is when maple. So just, that's pure maple syrup. So not some of those other brands that are high fructose corn syrup, but pure maple syrup. And then pumpkin puree. So pumpkin for my can, just not pumpkin pie filling. Essentially, that's what we are making, just a lot healthier. So this, I feel like we can make a crust for this and even put this into a crust and make our own pumpkin pie filling with this. Oh, this smells so good. So again, super easy ingredients. There's the recipe for you. Not complicated. I did add a little bit of vanilla extract too to that recipe there. So same as the first one, 2 teaspoons to that. But then we're just gonna mix that up. This one's gonna take me a little bit longer to mix. But again, like you said, you mentioned crackers, cookies. This I think would be really good with like a graham cracker. So even like those graham cracker sticks maybe. But again, I would go for a spoonful of this anytime over some pumpkin pie.
And how long does it stay good in the fridge if you're making this in advance? Can you have it?
A week. It'd be good for a week. Just, keep it covered, store it for a week. If you want, you can portion it out because there is, there's protein and there's a lot of fiber in here. So I know a lot of people have something against beans or legumes, but there's so many people don't get enough fiber in their diet to begin with. And so you got to be mindful of when you start adding things in like this, that you don't go overboard either. Your digestion might not appreciate that. So, eat it in moderation still. But again, natural sugar, healthy fats with the peanut butter, and great protein.
Can you talk just briefly as well? I love a lot of your recipes are just a few ingredients and a lot of times just things you have in there, but also this is very budget friendly.
Right, yeah. These chickpeas were 50 cents a can. So extremely budget friendly and pantry staples too. So you don't have to buy the dairy-free chocolate chips. You don't even have to put chocolate chips in them. There's different things like that. Again, with like maple syrup, you might spend a little bit more on that, but I've bought it once and I've had it for a long time and it's a good quality. So you actually don't need as much as you might have something else that's, artificial. Same with like a vanilla extract. And the honey too. You buy a thing of honey and you have it in your cupboard for a long time. Budget friendly. I like to save money. I'm a good frugal shopper too, so I find the deals, and I don't buy the mini carrots. I buy the regular carrots and then I just cut them up. So this was an apple from a tree at the lake. So again, like finding ways to use what we have outside also, like in the garden. So
Ashley, thank you so much for joining us today. Dessert hummus, I'll have to try it. We'll put those recipes up on our North Dakota Today Facebook page. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Stay with us. Coming up next here on North Dakota Today with flu season coming up fast. Is it the right time to get the flu shot? We're going to talk with an expert next.